And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to come into our second game in our first best of two series. Here, of course, between OMG, and they will be taking on Starhorn Royal Club. Updated standings show OMG currently in first place, but we'll have to see if they can stay there over the course of tonight's games. Because, of course, if they lose this game to Starhorn, and it's World Elite that's able to pull out a 2-0 victory versus IG later on, then it'll actually be World Elite in first place. So we'll have to see how the standings shake out as we get ready here for our second game of the night. And I want to thank everybody for coming out here and watching the LPL here in English on Twitch. I am Rapid. I'm here with Nero. We'll be bringing you guys tonight's games. At least while we wait for the games to come in, you can actually see some pretty dejected looks on players' faces. Well, you can't actually see their faces right now. And if I were Starhorn, I'd be thinking about that early strategy. OMG put so much pressure on that bottom half of the map. Even though it was actually Starhorn that took the first early turret, first dragon, and then next two turrets just went straight to OMG. And you can see Cool right there in a pretty cool first game, but very concerned looks on the faces of the guys from Starhorn.
Yeah, so OMG picked up the first game of this best of two, and actually you could have seen at the standings that they are sitting at the first place at the moment. So Starhorn can still get there if they pull off a win this time around. But, well, you questioned the play at the Dragon, that they went for the Dragon instead of a turret right there. And, well, you actually saw how it turned out later on. They had everything under the control. They took the kills, they took the turrets later on. Everything was all planned. So
And, here we hop into picks and bans for game number 2. Swapping sides, and more importantly, that was actually a really bold move by Star. They gave Insec his Rengar. They gave 0 Thresh, and it still just didn't matter. Honestly, one of the most impressive performances that game was Cola, who was going actually, who didn't die on his Gragas, went full tank, and still had a huge presence of the game because he wasn't playing for himself. He wasn't building that full AP top lane Gragas like we saw from Dyrus in this last week's North American LCS. He built full tank Gragas and just let the rest of his team kind of help him do the work. And of course, he wound up picking up some kills along the way. As far as the ban phase is concerned, ban on Kha'Zix. Now, that might actually be a ban against Korn in the mid lane on Kha'Zix, because we haven't really seen Insec run that too much in the jungle. Of course, he'd be much more likely to go for that Rengar, or even Lee Sin, which is also left up.
yeah, but I think it is targeted at Insec, especially that he failed at this Rengar, and most probably Drag will be willing to take this Lee Sin for himself. Actually, we have seen him play Jarvan in the previous game, but well, things may change right here. So, well, taking away this Kha'Zix leaves Insec with Rengar probably once again. And if he fails once again, this is going to be a really bad time for them. And, well, talking about going right there in the top lane on Gragas, we have seen some perfect satchel charges from Cool and all the ultimates throwing in there with the Solar Flares, with the Mega Inferno Bombs and all this stuff. But actually, I haven't seen a big explosive cask throughout the whole game. Like, it wasn't really big. And look at that. Once again, they are going for the Gragas and not for the Thresh for the first pick.
All right, so a little bit of a difference there. Starhorn picked up the first pick, Thresh, and to be honest, they still should lock in that Thresh, but they also have that big second pick. And honestly, Starhorn have kind of a stigma for them. They'll lose the first game, win the second game, and kind of lather, rinse, repeat for that. But I feel like when you go for a Rengar the first time and it doesn't work out, I think you actually switch to the Lee Sin here. Insec might not want to change things up too much. And oh yeah, there we go. Switching to the Lee Sin. And this is exactly what he did in reverse earlier on. A couple weeks ago, he lost game number 1 super hard with Lee Sin, and then was able to come back with a crushing Rengar performance. So night and day difference. We'll see if it works in reverse. Insec gets his trademark Lee Sin.
So this time around, they do not choose to go for this Thresh. As they had 2 picks, they could have gone for Lee Sin and Thresh. Or maybe even the AD carry, because Uzi is such a big point in their team. They actually go for the LeBlanc in the middle, most probably. But also it can be the support LeBlanc right there. I still think it is the 4.9 patch with the silence, of course, because they bought the Bloodthirsters as the first items. And
yep, and there was no shield on the Bloodthirster, so this is 4.9. Haven't quite made it to the 4.10 patch just yet.
Corn locking it. This Jax once again for Cola.
And you're going to see very similar team comps to game number 1. The big difference, of course, is the first pick there for Cola on LeBlanc. Keep in mind this is LeBlanc where it's still Sigil of Silence, not Sigil of Malice, so you can still get those big silences down. But with a lot less mid lane bans this time around, San's left open to grab that Twisted Fate for Cool. And if you're looking for a guy that makes Messiah jealous when he plays TF, it's going to be Cool. We've seen him banned against OMG. I think their last 3 games. I'd love to get some stats up on that, but yeah, you can see, look at that, 30% ban rate, but the win rate is massive. So San picking that one up. We'll see if it works out, and he's got some great pressure in the jungle with Cloud bringing up once again Drugs, Jarvan the fourth. So some similarities in the team comps for between each game, but I'm interested in seeing what we're gonna see from the support role. If that's support LeBlanc, which we've seen before. Wait a second. All right, so there's LeBlanc and Ziggs. Yeah, that's support LeBlanc for Zero down in that bottom lane with UZI.
Yeah, and it's not surprising for the LPL. We have seen support LeBlanc so many times already. And well, Zero, he kind of missed most of the hooks on the Thresh in the previous game, so he goes for a very different champion this time around. So let's hope that this LeBlanc works well for him. Well, we'll see how it turns out. UZI, he needs to play well in this game because he has lost his life as the first blood in the previous one. He needs to play a little bit more safe.
Yeah, more importantly, UZI lost his flash level 1 and was down that summoner spell before he went into lane. And that actually wound up costing him that first blood later on. So struggle in the bottom lane for Starhorn. Once again, if they do get off to a very early start, they're one of the best teams that I've seen in LPL at snowballing that early lead into a victory. They can do it versus the best teams, and we've already seen that a couple weeks ago in LPL. Now coming into their match versus OMG, this is kind of do or die for to continue the tie in the top 4 standings for that first place. So ironically enough, we could actually see even more tying come up depending on how the top 4 teams do tonight, or at least 3 of those 4 teams do tonight. But with OMG looking very, very strong, they get going. Zgragas once again. We'll have to see if he does get going once again in that top lane, as he had a very strong game number 1. So we're going to go ahead, load in. A quick reminder to you guys of the standings. Of course, it is OMG in first place, then World Elite, Starhorn, and Edward Gaming still stuck down there in second. We'll see if Starhorn can bring it back and tie OMG for first as we get in here to game number 2.
Yeah, and Starhorn, they pretty much lost the game in the early game. So how do they come back from that in this one? They definitely need to work some cheese into the game. I expect some early pressure from Insect, which he hasn't shown in the previous game. From Insect's Lee Sin, actually. And, well, he gets an opportunity to show something right here. But, well, he needs to do something. His team wasn't actually able to work anything out by themselves in the bottom lane. And now Cola needs to follow up with a teleport. That's the first thing Starhorn need to work on. He can't stay in the top. He can't leave Go going in the bot, killing everyone in his own lineup.
Now, one big thing that we do have to watch out for as we get in here to game number 2 is, do we start with a 2v1? I would suppose the answer would be yes. Oh, Cool is going to get jumped on, throws out the stun card, locks it very, very quickly. Insect's going to go for a follow-up Q, but Cool hooks up with San. Zero is actually the one to go in here, putting some damage down onto Drug, and already very strong early pressure from Starhorn will force both Drug and Cool back to base. But not really too much to come off of it. Going is spotted out by a ward, so no big mysteries yet. Starhorn, can they keep this top half of the map safe? And oh, there's actually the word from Going, so he is going to know exactly where Insect will be going in this early game. Most likely topside buff starts for both junglers, but no summoners burned level 1 like we saw in game 1.
Yeah, UZI was sticking with his own team this time around. Maybe it was a call from Insect. Maybe he just decided to play safely this time around. So, yeah, San with Cloud in the top lane. This time around, OMG is going for the lane swap and not for the counter lane swap, actually, that they went for in the previous game.
Alright, so while we hop into this, let me go ahead and add a little bit of volume to the stream just to make sure that we can hear a little bit of the hype as we get in here to game 2. Duo lane in the top, and that's really what we were talking about. Oh, a nice distortion back to dodge away from the Flay on Cloud. A little nice outplay there by Zero, and his support LeBlanc should be in charge of this lane for at least the early phase. LeBlanc much more damaging in playmaking in the early game, whereas UZI is just going to sit back and try to get that CS up there. He's down 1 CS, and he will actually be forced to miss that by San. Zero once again going right back in.
Yeah, so Cloud will be stacking up his armor with the souls, and that's a good thing. And compared to Zero's LeBlanc, he's gonna be much more tanky right there. So San can really punish Zero if he doesn't use the distortion once again really quickly, if he doesn't run away from there. Yeah, the failed hooks coming out once again. I really want to see a good Thresh play in this game. Don't disappoint me, Cloud.
And to be honest, there's actually a couple of times that Zero's just outplayed Cloud in the 1v1 support role. But now Cloud's going in there. I'm not sure why he just soaked that damage, just taking some extra spells. But really what they're doing is just allowing Drug to get great positioning there in the back. And most likely, I'm not sure if they're going to go for the big dive here, because it is a 2v3 with a lot of lockdown from Zero, and of course the slow from UZI. But we'll see what Drug's doing up here. I believe they want to go for the dive, or if they land a death sentence, of course catch out either Zero or UZI. But Drug is going to be waiting very patiently up top, while Insect's actually in the jungle farming.
Yeah, Insect was in the bottom lane for a little while, poked up, going by a little bit, and now he's back into the jungle. And once again, OMG, they have the multiple man pressure on one turret. But there's no dragon to turn around and go for this time around, so most probably OMG will want to take this turret down really quickly.
Drug's there if they need him. I wonder if Drug is going to wait here until the wave pushes right back out. Oh, UZI, he's got to play this so carefully. Zero actually might use his clone to get in there and scout things out, but doesn't make it into the brush. Of course, he doesn't necessarily need to. This Drug is pretty obvious there. Zero staying alive there. Insect, though, coming in from behind. We'll see if UZI and the rest can push them off the turret. Zero gets the chain to latch, but it's actually UZI. Wait, UZI. Okay, well, that's one way to pick up a kill. A little bit out of position. Cloud, though, it's the first one to go down. There's the first blood. Drug now going to go over the wall as Insect chases him out of there. And honestly, I would have expected that play more out of UZI to get in there and get in a dangerous position, but it turns out it was Cloud, a little bit too close for comfort, and a perfect pick-off. It's first blood for Starhorn.
And I was just paying attention to what Zero was doing, so I didn't even see the first blood going down, and I was so surprised that something went down, actually. It is just the support going down, but still, UZI, he gets the early dominance,
cool,
and that's what he needs.
Locks the gold card, throws it off, even goes back in for the wild cards, and still jukes the Q. Sonic Wave not going to hit. A beautiful play there by Cool.
Yeah, and Insect, after his really bad performance on Lee Sin in the first game, he's going for it once again, and he definitely doesn't want to disappoint, and here we go. Zero getting caught by Drug, but there is a channel. No, the chain.
Oh, UZI is pretty dead there. It's actually San being given the kill, forcing the flash out of Zero. Follow-up, knock-up, not going to land. Zero makes it back out, but he's got Insect coming back in, forcing the flash out of Drug, actually. So, nice positioning there by Lee Sin. Insect gets a summoner spell, but they lose their 80 carry. Now UZI with a kill, and now a death in his KDA.
Yeah, so once again, the positioning. He was in the middle of the fight, and he could have run away, because Zero was taking care of Drug all the time. And UZI was just standing there and last hitting. I don't know what he was thinking. But, yeah, Zero throwing out the ethereal chains 3 times, and 3 times they get broken. That's a really key spell right there, and he can't really seem to pull it off.
Alright, well, Cola's going to soak up a huge wave of CS, and I think we're going to get a little bit of a replay here on the bottom lane, just so we can check out exactly what happened. Nice stun out there on to going. He's not level 6, so there's no knockback. It's just going to take one more auto attack, and it's Cola there able to pick up that 1-for-0. So actually Cola winning out that matchup that he lost in game 1. Nice to see him changing his stars so far, and a huge wave of CS along with it will even him up in that department. Zero going in, Cloud's coming in from behind, no distortion up for Zero, but he actually grabs it. There's going to be immediately a Twisted Fate ultimate right in there in time. Zero has nowhere to go, and now, oh, use the eye. Where's he going to go? There's a pink ward down just to scout him out through the stealth. The gold card will land, wild cards play backwards, and there's the auto attack for Cloud. It will grab them the third kill, OMG. With a nice dive onto top lane, and Zero getting caught out. Great map vision from Cool.
And once again, UZI overstaying right there. Cool was in the middle of the fight, teleporting in, and UZI was trying to deal the damage with his auto attacks. He couldn't have expected to get a kill right there, for sure, and he still was staying in there. And it actually has drawn him to his death. There we go. OMG will be taking this turret down, as I said, actually saving it for a bit of seconds more.
Bottom lane, really impressed by this 1v1. Going, like we said, deathless and very, very strong on a full tank Gragas. But Cola has actually been able to win this matchup back, and he is actually dominating here really, really hard. You can see him consistently never afraid to go in, but actually going, looking for the outplay. Cola will be able to escape there, but he's actually very low. Goes back in, gets the stun. That's actually going. He tries to bait Cola back into the turret. It's one more auto attack, and the leap strike from Cola will get him that kill. He's forced to auto attack to lifesteal through the minions. Is it enough? Yes. Cola narrowly survives in another complete outplay on the going.
Okay, so Zero is going there for the bottom lane, and UZI is still in the top. And there we go, the bottom lane of OMG is finally going to replace Cola. Is still there. Okay, he now jumps away. It still could have been his death.
Yeah, Cola overstayed just a little bit too long, but he got out safely, so it's all good. More importantly, still has teleport up. Going will have to wait for that summoner spell, so he has to walk all the way up to top lane. And you can see immediately OMG are just like, alright, we've given you a couple of shots, you're not going back to that 1v1. Going is going to show up top lane once the wave comes back up there, and now it's going to be up to Cola. Where does he want to go? The answer is bottom lane. TP and In's got the stun on to San. Tons of damage to back it up there, even though he doesn't have a Trinity Force. Now with him going down, it's up to Cloud, and Cola's just going to... Oh my gosh, the damage isn't coming in. Zero is actually willing to snipe that one down. Dunks back down onto Cola though. He's gonna get the summoner heal, but it's not enough to keep him up. But look at going. He's coming back down to the bottom lane now, and oh, it's gonna be Zero. Not where he wants to be. There will be Cool picking up that kill currently at 2-4-2. Dump it back in there is UZI. He's got the stealth mechanics right in onto Cool, and the expunge to pick up the kill. Now, all going's trying to go away from here, but with a bouncing bomb and one more auto attack from Insect. Grabs it with the Tempest, and now it's going to be almost assuredly a dragon off the back of the team fight for Starhorn Royal Club.
Okay, so I have two things to point out after this fight. Usually I getting thrown into Cool with the explosive cast, so a little bit of a misplay from Going, but also Zero, he didn't run away with the distortion. He jumped in to deal a little bit more damage and then died. I don't know why he did that, but I don't know if it paid off or not. It was a tiny shred of damage. In the end, they got the kills, but he still died. That was really weird from him. He didn't run away. He juked them with the clone so well, but then just followed the clone with the distortion. So he just ran into his own death. But yeah, nice kills from UZI right there. And of course, Zero doing a good job, but he was still level 5, so he didn't have the double spell available. From his ultimate mimic, of course.
Man, alright, well, two things off of that fight that we just learned. One, Going is ridiculously far behind. He's up in his CS, but Cola's just going to be a monster. He'll be able to run over him in 1v1 matchups, and that's exactly where you want Jax to be. He's actually choosing to just kind of last it and freeze this wave up top lane. Going has nowhere to go. He's looking for jungle CS, putting out some wards. It's like he's playing support Gragas now, trying to just get around the map and at least give OMG some of the vision that Cool's actually been able to capitalize on. So, oh, knock up onto Corn. It's going to be Cool going in once again. There is the stun card. One last auto attack, and it will be Drug there to pick up the kill. Of course, Insect thinking about going in. Actually decides to go for it. Gets the Dragon's Rage. That is Insect picking up one kill. Safeguards back out to a ward. Where's OMG going to go? It's Cool looking for it. Where is Insect? He's looking to go away. Slammed into the wall. Right into a gold card. Wild card misses. That gives the kill over to Going. It'll reset his bounty. But more importantly, brilliant play there by Cool. Really forcing Starhorn into a rough spot.
And it's such a back and forth game. Starhorn, oh, actually, there's a fight in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and there's San actually getting locked down in the back, but questioning whether or not he should go back in here. Zero's got the damage, and is San gonna go down there to the damage take? Usually, wait, what? Twitch just walked back in there. Zero's gonna body block with his clone for at least a little bit longer, and oh, here's Corn to try to turn these around. Okay, well, there's UZI. He's not where he wants to be, but I don't understand how this bottom lane fight works. Mid lane, of course, OMG are right where they want to be sitting, taking down the middle lane turret. And even though these team fights are occasionally going to Starhorn, it's 3-0 in turrets. OMG still on top of their objective game.
Yeah, so that's a thing that I'll talk about a little bit later, but Yuziya, he died there because he didn't have the vision on Cool. Coming around from behind, just died completely right there, and he was so greedy for a kill on Sun. Once again, this is just UZI and how he plays. Once again, being greedy, once again, failing at that. So the turret, Starhorn, they were fighting in the bottom lane, and then Sun, he almost went down, but he didn't. And then he went for a turret, and then Goguen took one in the middle. They need to make something happen with the turrets, but they had the early lead. Then they lost a little bit, then they came back with the team fight once again. And once again, they throw with the team fight. So Starhorn, they need to get something going. Oh, and Zero gets
and
caught.
Here's where they're going to get it going. A nice dunk in to start the fight. There's Drug. We'll get Mega Inferno Bomb. Forced to flash on out of here. Cola's ahead of the schedule. Not there, the rest of his team not there with him, and OMG find a pick off a nice engaged Drug starting the fight, and you can see Cool once again getting in there. Honestly, Cool, like, imagine his struggles. Like, this guy is 4-1, hard carrying everything. Oh, UZI is gonna try for the assassination, blows up going. Oh my god. Alright, well, the struggles continue for that top lane Gragas, getting assassinated there. UZI making a big Twitch play.
Yeah, so 1-for-1, a fight for a fight, but Starhorn can't answer with the turrets, and that's what they need at the moment. And yeah, just looking at Drug, he isn't tanky at all. He just jumped in there and initiated a fight. I expected him to go down.
Oh, but now it's actually Corn caught out just a little bit. It's a fight over the blue buff, and it's San to take him out. Zig's going down, and oh, can San get away? He's taken down from the poison, but he'll survive. Dragon not quite up just yet. UZI is actually out of mana, so he can't continue this chase, and nice pick off there. Corn just got a little bit greedy for the blue buff, and if there's one lesson you should have learned from game one, is that OMG are not going to leave you safe in your jungle.
As much as I'd love to see Starhorn winning, I don't see them winning the way that they are trying to do this time around. Because they are just trading 1-for-1, 2-for-2, 3-for-3, whatever. They are just trading. They need to find something better for themselves finally. Sun trying to fight the golems right now, trying to kite them out. And look at that, Insect is coming in from behind. He has the vision, he has the red buff.
Dashing out, where's the Q? It does land on a sad Insect. You gotta go in on that, but no Lee Syndrome for him. He will make it out alive. Cool's actually gonna pop that Ghost, gets in there, and there's one kill. Can he find another one? Explosive cask in there on a Zero. Zero, where are you going? Answers back to base the hard way. And 2 kills almost solely off of Cool, manning up and just owning those team fights.
And yeah, OMG just getting on top of this fight completely. And once again, San is the bait. First time around it was UZI getting baited by San. Now it is Insect getting baited by San. And he even gives away the double buff. That is going to hurt him a lot. And now Starhorn, they have been doing quite well, but they will once again be closed out in their own base. And Cola may even go down right here. But no explosive cask available.
Mega Inferno Bomb just to keep that bottom lane turret alive. Death Sentence actually hooks in on Insect. There's the gold card, and Cool finds the pick. Is it enough? Answer is no. Health potion. Pretty good at keeping you alive.
Yeah, and we have seen this multiple times in LPL already. But look at Goguen, he's getting a little bit greedy. Standing on top of a ward, trying to go for the aggression.
Oh, turret dropping down very, very low. Chain's gonna latch for Zero onto Going. But I honestly don't think Going's going the same build that he did in game one. This full tank kind of Gragas. And I mean, I guess it's cool because he's always going to be like effective. I I just don't think that it's kind of what the doctor ordered, at least for him. Luckily enough, there's this guy named Cool on his team, and he's doing some pretty cool things, 6-1-5, and just really owning this game so far for OMG. Cool dies, and OMG die along with him, so we'll see if Insect can get the Insect. Perfect move. It's actually a kick flash there. It's gonna get the kill on to Cloud, but oh, Insect will go down off of the burst combo, coming back from Cool. It's like he's just not gonna let Starhorn get any single advantage here. Flashes back out from Cola. There's a TP just for Vision. Will Cool teleport back in? Gets the stun there. This time it's on to Korn. Not gonna overdive this. He's going in. He's like, hey guys, if I dive for a turret dive, it's totally fine. Meanwhile, you got the picture-in-picture watching this bottom lane duel. The piercing light, it's not enough. Flash away, but it's UZI losing the 1v1 to San.
Yeah, and UZI first killed Cloud right there, and then he tried to go for Sun, but Sun backed away out to underneath the turret, and then UZI tried to go for the blue, and Sun tried to contest it, and once again, and finally Sun grabs the kill, and once again, it is UZI being a little bit over-aggressive and over-greedy.
Oh my god. Alright, well... There is UZI. He had his chance for this time a much more fair 1v1 than we had in game 1, and you can just see the power. UZI didn't have it, a little bit of mispositioning. He was off by himself trying to make individual plays, and I guess you can consider it mildly effective. I mean, Cloud died, but of course San was able to grab his 4th kill of the game. And this is back when you can see a little bit of a versatility. It's a Trinity Force start for San. Now he's going to finish it off with a BT coming up in a minute.
Yeah, and the most impressive thing is this DF 716, always there, always getting a gold card on point, providing the kills for OMG. That's definitely a good thing. And 2 minutes left until the 20 minutes mark, and that's when we expect the Baron dance to start from OMG, of course.
And of course, this is LPL. If you guys are new to watching LPL, then there's this thing called Baron Nashor, and it has to be done before the end of every game. You don't win games in LPL without taking down Baron, or at least baiting your opponents into Baron, killing them, and then winning the game. And even then, you might as well just take Baron down at the same time. So, OMG, I'm just so impressed by this play. We're going to look for Insect here to start this fight off a replay. Gets the flash kick back. Cloud explodes. So, Cloud does nothing this fight. And so, basically, it's a 4v5. Starts with Insect way out of position. So, he gets blown up. And OMG, you'll see them kite here through this tri-brush. And Cola just overextends. Cola, I'm not sure where he was going after that. But now he's going to get chunked. And Cool just ults into 5 people. That's a Messiah if you've got a Zanya's, but no Zanya's there for Cool. Doesn't need it. Goes deep underneath the turret. Going's got the follow-up. He's got some damage as well. And now Zero and Korn, they should be okay, but here's the 1v1. UZI versus San. He gets the Blade of the Ruined King active, but San one auto attack ahead off the double shot. Gets the double buffs as well, and now is pretty far ahead of Uzi. I think that's some safe analysis there.
Yeah, and the fight between San and UZI was a little bit of 3 skirmishes right there. At the very beginning of the blue buff, before the blue buff, then at the blue buff, and then once again, San getting the kill and then taking the blue buff. So they were fighting and over and over again. Finally, San got the kill, but it was such a perfect one. You could have seen San so low at the very end of this fight. UZI could have got a kill, and he could have died, but he did die in the end.
Oh my gosh. Alright, well, Cloud this game has been somewhat lackluster on his thresh. Keeps getting caught out, dies a bunch, doesn't really do a lot, and then you're just like, alright, well, there's this guy named Cool, and he can 4v5, so Cloud's in good hands, apparently. You know, there's this thing called finding the perfect team, the perfect team of players. I think OMG have it, they just have it like, as a 4v5 with Cloud on the perfect team because they can carry it. And we'll see if he can maybe grab a death sentence or throw up a nice box to turn these fights around. But while he actually hasn't been showing up too much in these last team fights, Going has actually had a presence, and so I gotta give him credit for his full tank Gragas. It's able to get in there, tank turrets. And the cool thing about the gotta watch out for Uzi stealthing in here, looking for that damage, but won't go in just yet. The cool thing about Frozen Heart on Gragas is that if you have a certain mastery point that gives you percentage damage reduction from enemies who have their attack speed slowed, you get that all the time. You combo that with 20% damage reduction on his Happy Hour, and it's actually ridiculously tanky, so I'm impressed by Going's item build here, but definitely showing up more late game than he did early.
Yeah, so every Gragas was going for the Iceborne Gauntlet in the previous week, and I said that I want to see the Frozen Heart. Here we go, the Frozen Heart. My prayers have been listened out. And well, OMG are showing definitely a good play, and once again, well, the early game was Starhorns, but once again it's OMG as they were playing in the previous game, just taking every turret that they need, and Starhorn can't even be there to protect them.
All right. Well, two big things to notice. One, the pressure is still on for OMG. They're not worried about losing these team fights. They've just finished winning quite a few, and they're really just looking for Cool. Cool's in the back line. He's totally safe. There's a perfect flash kick on Hassan. He's underneath the turret, but Insect's out the position once again. So it'll be Insect who actually winds up going down. San saving his flash. Will be able to get out of there alive. That was almost before I knew what was happening. Insect just explodes in there, gets a perfect kick, but that's basically all he's good for. Oh, the death sentence. There's Cloud redeeming himself. Gets a perfect grab in there onto Going. But he winds up dying off the back of it, and Drug dies too. So now it's like, how hard can you carry the Mega Inferno Bomb onto Cool? Cool's gonna go down. Is this the turnaround for Starhorn? There's 4 dead, Going without almost any mana. Starhorn gonna chase in on this. There's the Baron opportunity if they want it. Going can't even try to stop them. A little bit low on HP. Starhorn will of course try for the Baron because this is LPL and you have to take it down. It's like another inhibitor. Needs to die before the game ends.
But they have Insect, so this will be an easy one. And a triple kill for UZI, not even touched in the fight. And that's the most important thing for Starhorn. They need to get UZI going. They did, and they will take a Baron from that. And maybe try to come back into the game slowly, but surely. They need to take a turret, though. At least one.
Yeah, that's a big thing to notice. While it is probably the most important buff in the game, the Baron buff is on Starhorn. They do still need those little turret buffs by taking those out. We're about to watch Insect try to throw this game super hard. He gets a kick on Hassan, who will be totally safe, gets through the box, and Insect just gets blown up. And I'm like, oh, Insect, what have you done? You've ruined this game for your team. Watch this turnaround as OMG get in here. You're going to see a huge performance from UZI as he stays perfectly safe now. Drug gets shunked in. OMG actually taking this turret. Cool tanks 2 turret shots right there, and there's Cloud. Cloud's about to make the big plays. He gets into the fight, but he goes down almost instantly thanks to a huge dunk alley-oop play from Korn. And now you're just about to watch things go from bad to worse. Even though it is actually the death for LeBlanc, the Mega Inferno Bomb from Korn, and now just look at UZI. Gets in there, gets the revenge kill, and a perfect counter engagement there for Starhorn.
Yeah, and it actually still could have been the OMG's fight if not the Mega Inferno Bomb, because Cool would have just stunned up UZI and then nuked him down. But still, the Mega Inferno Bomb took him down perfectly, and now Going in a dangerous position. However, OMG is trying to join him.
Inferno Bomb's there. It's not really going to land all that much. Chain to Latch does not finish. And now, oh my goodness, OMG trying to get back into this. Cool's been the big playmaker. We'll see if he goes back in again. A little bit of a distortion there as Zero looks to get caught out there. Drug getting chained. Once again, will not latch.
Yeah, and once again, like Zero throwing out multiple ethereal chains and once again not proccing them. Just can't really pull it off. He pulled it off once or twice in the game and can't really make it, but they do have the pressure. They need to get the turrets. Will they finally kick them off? That is the question. They go looking for the kills into the jungle. That is a really dangerous thing for them. They can get killed right here. The better thing would have been the middle turret for them.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, here's Cool. He's popping on the Ghost. He's going to lock in a red card, which might be just looking for the AoE slow, maybe catch out on both Cole and Korn. Nice disengage there from Starhorn will mean that they do make it out alive. OMG, look at how hard they are trying to start these fights, continually going in. You've got Cloud looking for those picks, but now it's actually Starhorn just out-rotating OMG just a little bit. We'll find their first turret kill of the game, and I feel like waving my hands in the air. It's happening, Nero. We're about to see Starhorn grab some turrets. Hopefully they don't overcommit too far. Get one and get out.
Yep, one turret for them. One at a time, getting it a little bit slowly, but well, I hope that they will take a little bit more of them, at least all the outer ones. That will help them out, because they seem to enjoy going into the enemy's jungle. like every single time. We have seen Insect die there already, UZI die there already. So if they take the outer turrets down, this may finally pay off for them.
Man, and for Starhorn, like, you got to feel for these guys, because today they have a matchup versus OMG. I think the next match that they play is versus EDG tomorrow, and you have to ask yourself, like, these guys are coming up on probably their hardest week, or one of the hardest weeks that they'll face this week. If they miss both of these wins, they wind up picking up losses here instead. How much more are tomorrow's games gonna matter? So it does matter. This last chain gonna go in on to go going. There's Drug forcing out that distortion back. OMG trying to get out ahead, trying to make these big plays, and honestly a little bit ahead of schedule. I mean, look at Cloud. He's not even with the rest of his team. If there's a team fight right now, he is way out in no man's land.
The split push Thresh there, pulling off some big strats right here. Starhorn are going for the LeBlanc support. They're going for the support split pushing. But look at that. Zero is actually chasing after Cloud right there in the jungle.
Well, Cloud does need to stay with the rest of his team. He did split off pretty handily there. That was mostly just a realization that Starhorn aren't looking to force anything. They weren't trying to make a big play by catching OMG out of position. So OMG just said, hey, we can split our Thresh and get some nice ward coverage out there. Which actually wasn't cleared out, even though UZI walked right next to the bush up there. Pink ward survives, and yeah, pings onto the brush. Making sure everybody knows where that rat is.
So 18 to 16, still the lead is on OMG's side. Still, the turret's lead is quite huge. The Baron will be coming up in 2 minutes. So is Dragon. So this may be a little bit of a misunderstandings later on. Because I have seen some of the teams go for the Dragon while the other one was going for the Baron. Just because they didn't have the timer. That was a big, big thing.
Well, Baron buff is about to come up here in a minute and 30 seconds. I think there is a graphical glitch where it still shows up on a couple of people, but Baron's respawning right now. Shouldn't have any more of those out there. And yeah, when Baron does respawn, theoretically it would be Starhorn if they can pick a good fight that'll be in charge. But OMG, instead of giving them that opportunity, are just sieging out their jungle. They're going to steal away the red buff, and it's actually OMG this time that are in a better position to start out Baron. Jax, of course, split pushing. Cola doing what Jaxes do best. We'll see if he's still that much farther ahead of going. He will be the one going down to the bottom lane to try to stop him.
Steals, no problem. OMG in the jungle of Starhorn, no problem. But just look at the ward coverage. Starhorn is gonna get dunked if they walk inside of there. There's so many wards from OMG. They're swarming right there, and they will definitely be able to get a catch if someone goes a little bit too deep from Starhorn, and they can't really clear out every single ward.
Baron dance about to start, but OMG are actually nowhere near there, so if Starhorn want to go for this, they'll be dancing by themselves. OMG putting some pressure on bottom, not really too big on the map control bottom lane, just because they do realize how big a deal this Baron buff will be. Of course, first Baron of the game going to Starhorn off of a very nice counter engage off of the destruction of their top lane turret. Pick a nice fight versus OMG, get the first Baron, but now it's time for Baron number 2. You have to see at least one Baron throw per game, so I don't know if it's going to be this one, but OMG, great positioning. OMG, great positioning. And apparently some enjoyment of what look like Pringles, but I can imagine that they aren't quite the same. Maybe the fun actually does stop after they pop. And here we go in the mid lane. We're just the Insect getting a safeguard back out, played back in from Cloud. Over the wall though, Drug's just getting monstered as UZI will trade 1 for 1. Insect trying to get in on Cool dodging out just about everything. Gets the stun card just in time. But in the back lines, you've got San just going off. Cool still trying to get in here for the chase. Doesn't want to flash in too aggressively, but it's a 2 for 1 in favor of OMG, and more importantly, do they try this Baron knowing that they don't have a jungler and Insect's still up?
The perfect stun from Cool completely stopped the kick from Insect. It would have been a dead Cool, but they don't have the jungler, so OMG are kind of hesitant. They don't really want to go for this Baron as of yet. Insect is still available there, and we have seen so many Lee Sin steals in the LPL already, but OMG definitely remembers some of them.
I can't believe OMG are actually trying this. Alright, Zero's gonna send his clone over the wall there just to get some vision, but it actually times out. So OMG are gonna go for a smiteless Baron play. Now they're gonna try to keep Baron alive just long enough so that Drug actually has a chance to get back into the pit. And here we go, there's the Q out over the wall though. Insec is gonna get the Dragon's Rage. Can he actually make it out alive? Gets explosive cast, but is actually still surviving. Not
And it's still the smite.
I don't know. I can't what, how do you, okay, well, there was the Baron kill. Of course you can see the buff now onto OMG. Insect didn't get a chance to smite it, didn't even, I don't know, it was a little bit of a misguided position to be in, almost wound up dying for free, and now here we're gonna see the engage once again. I think this is actually beforehand. Cool, teleporting in, there's the counter teleport as Insect gets pulled back in. Flash Flay there from Cloud keeps Corn out of the fight. He's forced to one all the way back around, even though Drug does die in the back lane. Look at this, the culling from San, gonna get one kill. Can they find Cola? There's the explosive cast, just masterful play there by Going. Finally redeeming himself, comes up big in the team fight, and allows a big play there for San.
Yeah, so best counter play ever coming out from Going. He just body slammed over the Baron pit to prevent Insect from going in with the Sonic Wave, denying the vision and denying the jump in because he was outside the Baron pit, of course. And Insect finally he gets a steal on the Dragon, but that's not as important as the Baron.
Hey, you gotta, sometimes it's about sending a message, Nero. You just have to make sure that at least you tell him who's boss every once in a while. And so now, even though there is a 5,000 gold difference, it was a lot better, or it was a lot bigger of a difference. Dragon will, of course, hope to even that up. Needlessly large Rod picked up there for Zero. He's looking to start doing some damage. Already has a completed Fiendish Codex on top of the Frost Queen's claim, so most likely a Deathfire Grasp, maybe a Zanya's coming up next there for Zero. Support carry. We'll see how hard he can carry. Because after a rough early game, Cloud's actually starting to come back and make some big plays.
In my head, what Insect did at the Dragon was something like, you see, I stole the Dragon, I could have done the same on the Baron, if not going over the wall, because he completely denied him right there. It was like, sad face, Insect. I can't do it.
Yeah, he just didn't see it coming.
Yeah, so still 2 kills difference. Still, Starhorn keeping it up. But, well, there's the Baron buff, and on OMG.
Well, they are looking to continue their jungle dominance, something they established very early and honestly very permanently in game number 1. Game 2, a little bit shaky early on. Still the kill count very even. Really only 6,000 gold separate these two teams. We're 35 minutes into the game, and honestly these guys both have very low gold counts compared to much more farm-heavy games that you would see out of maybe other regions. But OMG sacrificed a little bit of the gold count to get their turret count way up there. Of course, they are up those 4 turrets. Really, all outer turrets being taken down, so there is no safe place to go outside the base right now here for Starhorn.
Okay, so OMG will be sieging this one up. And well, if they don't get caught once again, because it was in the bottom lane, the big fight where Starhorn actually came back, I think it was in the bottom lane around the inner turret, and now OMG is going for the inhibitor one. They can go for a fight once again and once again throw it, but there they go. And there's some bad positioning coming in from Starhorn. They were around the middle lane, so OMG gets some free damage on this turret. And it's almost down already.
Yeah, to be honest, you could even just like tank that turret up just to make sure that you take it down. And you can see that's exactly what San's doing. He's got the Trinity Force, he's got the double shot from the Light Slinger passive, and he's got the bottom lane base turret, first base turret of the game going down in favor of OMG.
So the inhibitor will even go down, so OMG will be just backing away. And that's the same play as it was in the previous game. Exactly the same. They just take the objectives and they don't care about Starhorn actually being there. I think that at the ending of the game they will actually try to go for the fountain kills once again, and that's when the fights will actually happen.
Oh, UZI misses the slow because of course there's a Banshee's Veil on Astan. You don't want to go in onto that. Zero loses his passive, and UZI almost dies off of that, so nice one, but oh, look at it go all the way in. Drug getting in there. Looking sick with his plays, but there's going to grab the kill onto UZI. The flash in, the gold card, miss on the wild card there, but Korn still dies. And look at Drug, he's going to flash in for the random and slow. Cola, nowhere to run. Got Insec, he's still alive there. He's having to recall to get back into his own base. OMG come up huge off the team fight. We'll take down their first and second inhibitors of the game.
Yeah, so this is a game of denies. Like, Cool could have taken down UZI in the top lane, and he got shut down by the Mega Inferno Bomb. And then Insec could have stolen the Baron, but he got denied by Go-Going. And now, UZI, he used his flash to run away from the culling, and now he gets locked up inside of the Cataclysm, and he's like sitting right there underneath this, the wall. Sad face, I'm going to go down, and there we go. Starhorn trying to save this Nexus, and Insec is baiting OMG out of the base. And OMG, as I said, they will be trying to get the fountain kills. Actually, they are chasing after Insec right here.
We'll see. He might actually die here to the white auto attack. He's going to throw it out there. The minions, not going to be enough. Insect survives. At least he's trying to. But yeah, there goes the Nexus. And 2-0 in their series. OMG. With a slightly less dominant performance game 2, but nonetheless, 2-0 victory to put them 3 points up in the standings, way ahead of third place. At this point, all that's left to do is see if World Elite can join them by picking up 2 wins versus Invictus Gaming in our second best of 2 series of the night.
Yeah, so they're sitting at 11 points, then 3 teams at 8 points. And it was such a good game. I expected Starhorn to win this one, but the strategy was not the best. They were just picking 1 for 1 and 2 for 2, as I said multiple times already. So yeah, not the best play. They could have pulled it off, and they definitely know what they need to work on at the moment.
Wow, well, that is about all that's going to do it for our first series of the night. Of course, you can check out the standings here. We'll be updating those in just a little bit. OMG, now sizably ahead. Dominate first place. We'll have to see once again. Second series will be World Elite. Of course, the previous team that used to be up at the top spot that OMG just overtook, they'll be taking on Invictus Gaming, and IG looking kind of shaky coming into this season with some questionable decision making in their previous series versus LGD. See if they have a little bit more solid decision making as we come in here to series number 2. But of course, this is the LPL, and the way they run things, there is an hour-long break in between series. So that does mean that we have a somewhat extended distance between our first series and second. So we'll be throwing up some videos for you guys to watch in the meantime. So hopefully you enjoyed the first best of 2 series of the night. You have any final words on that series, Nero?
No, pretty much I expected more from Starhorn. So this was their test. If they are one of the best teams or actually a mediocre team right there. They finished kind of hesitant, to be honest, because they still managed to put up a good fight against OMG, but they still didn't manage to pull off a win. And yeah, there's 73 minutes exactly until the next game starts, so see you there.